Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. In preparation for RealityCon 3, the Large Sums of Money conference that we're holding on November 18th through the 19th, we've been doing a lot of episodes on prosperity. There are so many aspects to prosperity in studying how we can achieve prosperity, how it works, techniques, different authors, and it's something that needs to be discussed. Money needs to be discussed when discussing spirituality and reality creation. It absolutely has to. And one thing that's really lacking from many of the great spiritual teachers is a discussion of money. Jesus did not talk about it enough. The Buddha did not talk about it enough. They used mere parables to discuss money. Yet money is perhaps one of the most important things. Yes, we can go back and decipher parables from these great teachers, but clearly money plays a role in our spirituality. It's a relationship with the outside world. It's an interchange of energy that affects everything that we see and do and affects our spiritual journey. For a certain level or state of prosperity can mean we literally don't have time and cannot ever even think about God in any way because we don't have time and we're struggling just to survive. So we go through these different states, and money is teaching us about that. It's an energy that's coming in and out. And just like any energy, it flows. It comes in and out. We go through periods when it's really coming in, and we go through periods when it's really going out, as all energy flows. So I wanted to discuss this particular aspect, learning how to deal with these cycles. The world is set up with all kinds of obvious cycles, and people can tune into the flow of money. There's ways to tune into the flow of money by these cycles. Perhaps you have a friend that worked at state fairs during the summer and made all their money during that time, or someone else that always works during Halloween to make costumes and pretty much has their salary for the entire year. Some people tune into the flow of money using certain times, and this helps them to gain prosperity. So as you grow and become more sensitive to more and more aspects of creating abundance, you will recognize that money flows in and out like ocean waves. You will experience times when the tide is in and times when the tide is out. Your universe is made of energy, and energy moves in waves and cycles. There will be times when your magnetism has a larger result and times when it has a smaller result. Some months you will receive more money than usual, and some months you will have more bills than normal. Some weeks your business may be booming, and other weeks you may have very few customers. There is a natural rhythm to money, just as there is a natural cycle to everything in your life. Every business has an ebb and flow. Every person has cycles in life, times when money is coming in more than it is going out, and times when it is going out more than it is coming in. Your challenge is to not go up and down emotionally with the natural ebb and flow of money in your life. Use these natural cycles in a way that further builds your prosperity. So we need to say this together. Try to memorize this, and we begin with this simple affirmation. Say it with me. Money flows in my life. I am prosperous in my life. Very simple. We acknowledge that money is flowing, and it's flowing in my life. And my life is prosperous. Not just it's flowing, but it's prosperous. So say it with me. Money flows in my life. I am prosperous in my life. There are 4 basic states of flow you might experience. Calm, when money is coming in and going out in equal amounts. Flow, when much money is coming in and then going out. Ebb, when much more money is going out than coming in. And flat, when no money is flowing in or out. Money represents an exchange of energy between you in the outside world. It represents the energy going out from you and the energy coming back in. If you are in a calm or flat state where money is coming in and going out in equal amounts, or there is not any movement, look at where your own energy might not be moving. You want both money and your personal energy to flow. By unblocking your energy, you can create more money in your life. Blocks in money can be caused by places where your energy is not flowing, such as in your physical body, your emotions, or your relationships with other people. If you're in a calm or flat state with money and you want the energy to begin moving, observe your life for a while and ask your higher self to show you where your energy needs to flow more. So let's ask our higher self right now, where does my energy need to flow more? Just sit for a moment and ask yourself, where does my energy need to flow more? Now say this with me. My energy is open and flowing in every area of my life. Sometimes the lack of flow may be in your body. If your body is not as healthy or as energetic as you would like, you can start having more energy by getting in touch with your inner urgings. Your body is always trying to communicate with you about its needs. What whispers have you been receiving from your body? Perhaps it wants you to get more rest, be out in nature more, get more exercise, or change your diet. Follow your inner urgings, and you will gain more physical energy and health. As you gain more flow in this area, it will help money to flow in your life. Take a moment to reflect on your body. Is there anywhere you feel physically blocked? Do you have any inner urges that you are not following, such as changing your diet, getting more exercise, getting a massage, or walking outdoors? What simple step could you take today or tomorrow to help open up that area? Sometimes you may feel emotionally blocked. You may be angry at someone or suppressing feelings that need to be expressed. You can free emotional blocks by having the intent to go higher and by speaking the truth with compassion. Again, follow your inner urgings. Listen to your feelings, honor them, and act upon them. Reflect on your personal relationships. Is there any place where you are putting a lot of energy out and getting very little back? Or are you expecting people to give you without giving back to them? Do you send out love to other people? Do you feel loved? Is your heart open? When you observe an area that feels blocked, you can ask, what specific action can I take to create more flow in this area? It need not be a major act. It can be simple, such as telling a friend something that needs to be said. What small step could you take in the next week or so to open up the energy between you and someone else? It may be as simple as a phone call, a change in your attitude towards someone, or telling someone telepathically that you accept him or her just as he or she is. One area in which you are not happy may affect every other area of your life. The more conscious you become of your energy, the less possible it becomes to sweep under the carpet those areas of your life that are not working. To experience the abundance, aliveness, and growth you seek, it is necessary to do what you can to make every area of your life work. When money is not flowing, it may be time to start new activities that you have wanted to do. Look for things you can do that will bring you joy, aliveness, and energy, because you want to make this money joyfully. I repeatedly affirm to myself that I make, keep, give, spend, invest this money joyfully. So look for things you can do that will bring you joy, aliveness, and energy, because that may be a signal that it's going to be a way for you to make money, and start doing them. As you do, you'll start your energy moving and create a flow of money. So say this with me. And repeat this on a regular basis and intone this and enter into this state. And do not forget it. I always have more money coming in than going out. I always have more money coming in than going out. Everyone looks forward to the flow when more money is coming in than going out. You experience this many times during each month. When you receive your paycheck or sum of money, before you spend it, you have started to create a flow. Start by acknowledging that you already have a flow in your life and that what you want is even more days when more money is coming in than going out. If you acknowledged yourself every time you had even one day of more money coming in than going out, you would find the flow increasing in your life. If you have reached a level where you consistently have an excess of money coming in, congratulate yourself. Be grateful. Be thankful. And feel this thought that you have of congratulating yourself for this money coming in. This is the beginning of this state that you're creating. You have reached a level of mastery of abundance. I promise. Right now, you're a master of abundance. Don't look to the outside world. If you can simply create this feeling of congratulating yourself, you are abundant in this moment right now. Take a moment to appreciate and acknowledge your accomplishment. You are now a master of abundance. If you can feel that, remember that feeling. There are some challenges at this level of mastery. One of the challenges when more money is coming in than going out is to keep your expenses far enough below your increased wealth that when the natural ebb comes, you will still be able to pay your bills. Until you completely master the process of manifesting and can create whatever you want at the moment you want it, you may want to save some of your excess money. It's only temporary. It is easy at any level of wealth to spend more than you have and keep yourself feeling broke. You can be a billionaire and feel broke if you have loans on everything. I have met someone that was almost a billionaire, and when I was talking to him, he did not feel abundant at all. He owed money on everything. He was leveraged to the hilt. And it was not the feeling that I imagined I would have if I was at that level of wealth. Some people do not experience abundance because they spend all the money they make or more. And I have to admit, that's me. I've gone through periods where I spent way too much money on irrelevant and ridiculous stuff, on comic books, CDs, and books. And so I'm not saying that I'm innocent of this, but I've definitely started to understand the flow of money in that regard. Everybody goes through it. So just keep that in mind. Some people do not experience abundance. So you want to experience abundance, and it will increase, and you'll be able to spend that money anyway on those things that you want anyway. But we're at that point where we're going to make sure that we're bringing in more money than going out. Some people might increase their monthly expenses so much that their income goes up. They do not have enough money to meet the bills when the tide goes out. Those who feel wealthy are usually spending less than they make. One guy I knew was making very little, and he began to visualize his monetary success. It's a friend of mine from high school. He had contacted me after several years after following my podcast. And he told me the story of where he was making like $25,000 a year. But he began to visualize his monetary success every day when he woke up and went to sleep. And within 3 years, he drew in and acted upon enough new business ideas to make a huge annual salary, 300 times more, working only 3 days a week. However, in his excitement over having money, he bought a huge new house, a large car, and other expensive items. And he quickly increased his monthly expenses to the point where he needed to earn his new huge annual salary just to meet his payments. Even with his increased income, he still felt poor and pressed for money, which results in a new reflection where the money around you starts to go down. So I want you to say this with me. I allow myself to have more than I ever dreamed possible. I allow myself to have more than I ever dreamed possible. Much of what you want is simply allowing it to happen. And there's certain energies you're not allowing to flow, certain ideas you're not allowing to flow, certain methods of reality creation that you're simply not allowing. There's some part of you that may not be allowing for you to have whatever you dream possible. What is going on there? Do you feel guilty about it? Just continue to say this affirmation until you can break down that thought that might be limiting what you want and not allowing it. So I allow myself to have more than I ever dreamed possible. How good can it get? How good can it get? How much can you really imagine? Imagine making more than you ever dreamed possible. That's an amazing accomplishment. When more money is coming in than going out, when you are getting more business or money than you are expecting, it is a challenge to continue to ask for more. If you say, this is too much, if it continues, I will not be able to handle all the business responsibility or work. You may put the brakes on more tightly than you expect. Then when the natural ebb comes, you might find the money or business less than you want. When you feel you are being inundated by business, work, opportunities, or money, do not put on the brakes. Challenge yourself to ask for more. Indulge in unlimited thinking and expand your imagination. Expand it to what is possible for you to have. When you're in an upward cycle, keep opening to even more. Realize that as more comes in, you will develop new processes, forms, and structures in your life to handle it. You may end up hiring help, changing what you do, and being able to reach more people. I've had times when the business I had was such grueling work that I imagined making less because I didn't want to do the work. Shipping out books, shipping out different items when I had a bunch that I had to do, different places that I had to go. And so then I would not allow myself to receive what I needed. And you can always hire help. You can change what you do. You can become more efficient at it. Eventually you figure it out if you're open to receiving. And as you become more and more abundant, one of your challenges will be to handle all the choices, the opportunities, and abundance that come to you. You will be challenged to grow, reach more people, get your work out in a larger way, and accept more responsibility, power, and abundance. But how can you trust that flow? When can you trust that flow? Is a job or career or situation that used to work no longer working for you? Perhaps you once loved to do what you do now, and it has become a have to or lost its sense of newness and aliveness. I think that's a common thing that happens when people start to do what they love to do. Perhaps you have experienced a drop in sales or clients, drop in views, or a lack of enthusiasm for something you used to enjoy. No matter what level of prosperity and abundance you have achieved, there may come a time when your picture of where you want to be or think you ought to be does not match where you are. This can happen to anyone, those who have millions of dollars and those who wonder where their next meal will come from. It is important to know when it is time to change course. No job, business, or activity will be perfect forever unless you are willing to constantly update it. For as you grow, the things around you need to be revised. Sometimes a simple change will do. Other times, the only way you will be able to go to the next level will be to let go of everything you have and start over with something completely different. So say this with me. I flow with the current. I know that everything happens for my good. There are natural phases to the creation of all things. The first phase is the idea stage. You are brimming with ideas, new thinking, and a desire for change, even though you may not see how you can create it. The next phase is the building phase, when you see ways to put your ideas into action and do so. Manifesting what you have been desiring is exciting. This phase is followed by the completion of what you are building, a leveling off phase during which your ideas are working but are no longer expanding and growing. The next phase is the ending of one cycle and the beginning of the next. You may feel dissatisfied with what you have built. Perhaps it is no longer the vehicle that can take you to your new expanded goals. Many of you think this last phase as a downward cycle. In truth, it is a part of a natural cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It is the old leaving, paving the way for the new. If things are not working as well as you would like, right now, if you're not happy as you used to be with your career, you may be getting ready to expand and move up to a new level. The job you have now and the skills you use were appropriate to bring you your original goals. If you're now asking for more, thinking in bigger and more expansive ways, you may need a new vehicle to get you where you want to go next. The same job, thoughts, skills, or attitudes will bring you only what you now have. You need to discover new ways of thinking or feeling, new perspectives, skills, and ideas, for you are getting ready to start a new cycle. You have not failed or gone backward. Instead, see yourself as a success. You're getting ready for a new leap forward. No path is ever closed or slowed down unless that is for your higher good. If following your path is a struggle, if it is getting too difficult, take time to re-examine what you're doing. There may be a better way to do things, or something else entirely different may be emerging for you. If one path is giving you difficulty, there is another path you can follow, and it will hold even more joy and abundance and aliveness than the one you are on. So say this with me. I am alert to my opportunities and I use them well. Just saying on a regular basis that I am alert to my opportunities opens your eyes up and makes you aware as you go through the world for new ideas and new things that can help you to make the money that you need or want. Remember that the current of humanity's evolution is a constantly changing course, and that circumstances are always changing. When we shift to the new earth, there's going to be major changes and revolutions on a regular basis. What humanity wants now and what people are excited about now is not the same as it was even a year ago. Even the best of plans must be constantly revised. You'll need to check in and see if your pictures are still in alignment with your inner directions and the direction in which humanity is going. An airplane that is flying to its destination must constantly readjust its flight path to stay on course. You may find that you need to constantly update what you're doing to stay closely aligned with the course of humanity. Once you create something, you will need to learn how to let it grow and evolve. What works for you today may not work for you at a future time without some revision. What you feel guided to do now may not be what you are guided to do during the following month or years. You will need to take risks, try new activities, and stay in touch with your energy. When you are no longer enjoying what you're doing, it is a sign that something new is needed. If this is so, developing the new will bring you more abundance than holding on to the old. You are always changing and growing, and as you stay in touch with what you enjoy doing, you will draw to you the new forms that match who you are in the reflection of the world around you, like a mirror. Creating your life's work does not come from choosing safety and comfort over growth. It comes from choosing and taking actions that help you get to where you want to go. Learn to embrace your challenges with love rather than avoiding them. Start by doing something that is a slight reach for you. Take on a slightly more challenging project than you normally tackle, or learn a new skill. When you do things that make you reach, the rewards are great. You will feel invigorated and energized afterward. Take the level of risk that is comfortable for you and increase it by one level. You do not need to take steps that are extremely uncomfortable, for that is not the path of joy. But do increase your willingness to risk as a way of attracting more to you. Now, say this with me. I release anything that is not for my higher good and ask it to release me. Perhaps there's something that you need to release that will move you on your path towards prosperity. Maybe it's a person or thing or business that's not rewarding for you. So say it with me. I release anything that is not for my higher good and ask it to release me. The way you deal with old patterns, leaving determines how much pain or struggle you will experience during this phase. You're going to have to change patterns. If the current pattern has brought about a state of poverty, then you must change the pattern. Be serious about it. If you're serious about your prosperity, you must change the pattern. Sometimes you may merely need to let go of an attitude or belief. Sometimes you may need to release the job you have and find a new one. Releasing the old is a way to attract the new by creating space for it to come into your life. You can leave what you have created joyfully, willingly, and consciously, or you can wait until circumstances reach crisis proportions and you are forced to implement new ideas. If it is time to make changes, but you are reluctant to let go of the old, your soul will help you by creating circumstances in which the old no longer works. You have changed and grown in the process of getting what you wanted. Your goals may be bigger or different now, and the things you created may no longer challenge you the way they did before. Life always seeks a higher order, and once you've achieved one goal, you will usually be looking toward the next goal. Some of you let go easily, and naturally implementing your new ideas and letting go of old forms when it is appropriate. My kids do it better than I do. And it seems like a lot of younger people are very good at letting go of old ideas that don't work for them and breaking patterns very quickly and easily. Some of you keep trying to make the old forms work, putting more and more efforts onto them, until you decide to look at new forms and ideas, starting the cycle all over again. It is the nature of all life to go toward growth and aliveness. Once you've mastered one level, you are ready to go on to the next. You can decide how much discontent and dissatisfaction motivates you to act on your inner messages. Some of you continuously create the jobs and lives you want, constantly striving to give yourselves environments that support your aliveness. You change your circumstances when you hear the whispers, letting go of the old easily and embracing new directions as they emerge. Some of you do not make the changes until you experience discontent or anxiety. If you are in the latter category, your soul may create more and more problems, discomfort, or internal resistance toward your existing job or situation to get you to pay attention to the fact that changes need to be made. Learn to let go of the old or find ways to change things when you stop loving what you are doing and when you are no longer growing and feeling alive from doing it. It is a challenge to love rather than dislike what you are leaving. If you focus on what you want, what you would love to have, and go toward it, you will have it. The more you dislike something, the more you may be stuck with it. The more you dislike your business, the longer you may be in it. One of the principles of the universe is that every situation in your life is teaching you how to love. You cannot leave something until you love it. You are tied to things you do not like. If you hate something, you will be drawn to it again and again, even though the person or form may change until you love it. Once you love it, you are free from it. So say this with me. I love and honor everything I create. I love and honor everything I create. I had a friend start a business of his own and discovered a year later that he did not like it. He had not anticipated the long hours, the lack of money, or the kinds of people he would have to deal with. He wished he was in another business. It was actually real estate, and he found himself working forever and just hated the people he had to work with, and it was terrible. He wished he was in another business. He began avoiding the office and did not return calls. Because the business was not doing well, he went further and further into debt. As his debts increased, he had fewer options about what he could do with his company or his life. One day a friend told him, "You cannot be free of something until you love it." And in desperation, he decided to try loving his business. He returned calls, spent extra time with clients, and spent days getting the company into excellent condition, organizing all the records, implementing cost-effective and time-saving procedures, and much more. Within 2 months, the company began making a profit, and within a year, he had enough money to start another business in a different field, one much more to his liking. Because he loved his first business, it did well and developed a good reputation, and he was able to sell it for a nice profit. So say this with me. I let go easily, trusting that nothing leaves my life unless something better is coming. So you have to follow this flow into having money. Just remember that money is neither good nor bad. It is energy. It is the way the money is used that determines whether or not it is a positive energy that will benefit you and others. If you come from the highest level of integrity with your money, if you make it in ways that benefit people through shifting their consciousness or through serving and making a contribution by giving your best and honoring others and putting attention and consciousness into what you do, you are making a contribution to humanity and to yourself. When you use money in ways that serve your higher purpose and bring you and others joy, you are creating money of light. The more money is made and spent with integrity and light, the more it becomes a force of light for everyone. So say it with me. I have abundance in every area of my life. True abundance in every area. That's what you have. True abundance is having all you need to do your life's work, the tools, the resources, and living environment, and to live a life filled with joy and aliveness. Abundance is not an extravagant, glamorous style of living maintained purely to impress others, or one that does not support your true aliveness, your true abilities as a reality creator. Part of the essence of spirituality is the belief in true abundance of time, love, and energy. You teach others by setting an example. It may be hard, if not impossible, to help others lead abundant lives if you do not have a feeling of abundance about your own life. You do not want living at a survival level and experiencing lack to be the examples you set for others. When you have the right amount of money and money works in your life, people will learn about abundance from your example. Most war and strife come from a belief in scarcity. People who believe in scarcity often try to squeeze more and more out of nature, wasting the planet's resources. If you want to contribute to planetary peace, you can start by believing in abundance for yourself and others. As society begins to believe that there can be abundance for everyone, new discoveries will be made that will provide unlimited energy and resources that do not pollute or deplete the earth, and there will be fewer reasons for war. There truly is the potential for abundance for everyone on the planet if humanity believed in abundance for all. It could be created. Start believing that it is possible for everyone to have abundance. So say it with me. My prosperity prospers others. It is all right to have money. Some of you feel guilty about having money and you push it away and you do not let it flow. Therefore, you are not making more than you're putting out. And you're letting the waves determine everything, especially when you look around and see others living in lack. Some people learn and grow just as much by having a totally materialistic focus as others do by living in poverty. It is not more spiritual to be poor, nor is it better to be rich. If you're worried that it is not spiritual to have money, examine the times in your life when you had money, even if it was just a small amount. Remember how you used your money. You may have been able to help those around you even more. When you felt abundant, you probably felt generous and able to support others in their abundance. So I just want you to let it flow. Let it flow. Remember, money flows in my life. I am prosperous in my life. My energy is open and flowing in every area of my life. I always have more money coming in than going out. I allow myself to have more than I ever dreamed possible. I flow with the current. I know that everything happens for my higher good. I am alert to my opportunities and I use them well. I release anything that is not for my higher good and ask it to release me. I love and honor everything I create. I let go easily, trusting that nothing leaves my life unless something better is coming. And I have abundance in every area of my life, and my prosperity prospers others. It's a simple thing, but sometimes the simple things are the most powerful. So money's going to flow into your life, and you're going to start noticing this flow. And wherever you're at, whatever state that you're at, that we have discussed, I imagine that you are in the flow state now. Before this podcast was over, you entered into the flow state. You entered into a feeling of abundance. You affirmed it, and now as you leave this episode, you can see the flow of money. You've tuned in to the flow of money, and you are prospering the world, and you have abundance in every area of your life. And I see it now. I see it for you. I'm so excited and grateful for the abundance that is coming for you. Thank you for joining me today. And let your money flow. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. Buy my art at www.newearth.art. Hundreds of new editions, new paintings, amazing AI images. And welcome to the Reality Revolution.